What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Chewin the Rag. Before we get into it with Andrew Lewis Caldwell and his episode, I just wanted to touch on something quickly. There is a little bit of a audio and video quality issue on this episode, and I'm well aware of it. What had happened was not Andrew's fault nor my fault. It was a technical fault on the editing and the uploading of the podcast. Andrew's side, for some reason, just didn't save to my program properly. So I ended up having to pull from the cloud in order to get this episode out. When I talked to Andrew, I told him, I'm going to do my best to salvage this episode. But even if I can't put it out, I just appreciate your conversation and the time you spent out of your day just talking to me. And he was very cool about it. He said, look, man, why don't we just do another take next week and call it a day? Just don't even worry about it. So I appreciated that, and I would have taken him up on that offer if I wasn't able to use this cloud. But I would rather, and me and Andrew talk about like artistry a little bit in this episode, I would rather sacrifice a little bit of the quality for the authenticity of like what Chewin the Rag is, which is just straight conversation. So if I would have done another take with him, it would have felt kind of, I don't know, scripted almost, because I kind of know him now and what we were going to talk about, and I didn't want that. I wanted the real raw conversation that we had, which was playful and it wasn't like anything deep, but I just wanted it to be authentic. So I did sacrifice a little bit of quality, but I still think it was a fun episode, and I hope it's as fun to listen to as it was to record. Andrew is a great guy. Appreciate it. Special guest, my guy, Andrew Lewis Caldwell. What's up, Andrew? How are you?
What's up? Hey, dude, how are you?
Good, man. Good. I really appreciate
I had
you
all the
coming
time in
on.
the world before. No problem. I had all the time in the world to adjust my monitor, but I'm gonna do it right as you start the show.
Oh, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
man. Hey,
Story of
thanks
my
for
life.
having me, dude. Yeah, I'm excited, man. We were just talking before this. Like, I love when people reach out and want to talk about stuff because I appreciate people wanting to hear the stories and wanting to know and like finding it interesting. So I appreciate you reaching out, man. I'm super excited to chop it up with you.
Yeah, for sure. When I first reached out to you, we were just starting the Spider-Noir series, me and my wife. We haven't even got really into your character yet. And I was like, this
Oh
is
boy.
sick. This dude's really funny. And then we got late. I'm not gonna give any spoilers away, but as you get further and further and further, I'm like, this dude fucking rules. Like, this is my favorite character on this show by far. So like I was actually really excited. As you know, we had some phone tag and whatnot, but I was really excited
Sure.
that that happened because I got to finish the series and really like see you do your thing. And I was like, hell
Yeah, it
yeah,
would have
there's
been weird
nothing.
to do this without you seeing everything.
Yeah, I would have saw like just the very beginning when you first got on, and I was like, okay, this performance is good. I'm interested in this, and then to see it from there to the end, and now it's like I really want to talk to this dude. So I'm so glad that we did have those issues where we did not link up on first message, because I would have had so much more to talk about that I was like, we got to do an episode 2 or something, because Jesus, man.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah,
my
dude. Cool. I mean,
yeah,
look, we might still need to do an episode 2. You never know.
yeah, you never know how this will go. So I really appreciate you. Your performance on there was my big thing was a lot of it. How much was that like written this way, or did you improv any of your character? Because you were very, very
Uh,
funny and well done.
Very, very little improv. Very little. There wasn't a lot of improv, is it as in like changing lines necessarily
Right.
because Oren wrote such a good script, but
Yeah.
like improv in the way of like maybe like adjusting moments, like little stuff, like stuff that even when you're writing for television, there's so many moving parts and like I mean when I say like oh catching something that like oh hey maybe like this is a little bit like the line before, like little dumb stuff, but never like to
Mhm.
change anything drastically. At least on purpose. Um, so no, there was a lot. It's weird. There's a fine line between like improv and impulse, and so we
Yeah.
got to live in the impulse. It's cool. Like we weren't limited. Like I've been on shows before. Like I was on the show I Zombie on the CW. And it was like a word perfect show, and they were adamant that like every line is exactly the way it's written. And for me, that's super, super hard to do.
Yeah,
Like I can live in your script, no problem, but there's got to be some room to breathe. And again, I don't mean improv. I mean, with some impulse stuff. And so they were great about allowing room for impulse, but then there wasn't any need for improv.
that makes sense. That makes sense. And maybe that's a word I should have used because, I mean, with the cast that they had, a lot of those guys have the background like Lamorne. He's very funny. He's very off the cuff. Um, Nick, very funny. Nicolas Cage, very funny, very off the cuff. So you almost assume, I guess, I assumed that there was a lot of impulse, a lot of, kind of, here's the script, here's what I need you to say, but you can put your own spin, your own impulse on it, etc. However,
Yeah, and what's weird is like Nicolas Cage is like as impulsive as he is in his characters, it is thought out.
yes.
Like it is like sometimes here like for me, a lot of times stuff will happen in the take. Like something will happen like cool in the take that I'm like, ooh, I like that. Like that was like a part of the thing. But
Yeah.
for Nick, it's thought about before. So what feels like this natural thing that's sort of happening in the moment, he's thought
Mm,
about it like in great
mm,
detail. He's not to say he's not impulsive and can go off the cuff. He can, but he's so meticulous, man. He's like he's a genius.
yeah. Yeah. Very, very calculated impulse. That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
We were just
And a
talking
great
about,
kisser. I'm trying to spread the word. I'm trying to spread a
yeah.
rumor on the internet that he and I kissed. I've been working on it. It's not taken off like wildfire like I hoped it would. I was just hoping it
Oh,
would, but I will say again, me and Nicolas Cage kissed on the lips.
yeah. I'll add to it. I'll always add to that.
Yeah, just whatever, just a
any
little
any chance
like
I
a
get,
thumbnail or something. I don't,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to start a rumor.
before we before we started recording, we were just talking a little bit, and like I said, your performance just stood out to me so much. I really enjoyed seeing that, and then when that happens, I have to kind of nerd out a little bit, and I go and I do the deep dive, and I'm looking at the IMDb, and I'm looking at like what else has this guy done? Uh, and the list goes on. I mean, you said you've been at this for a long time. I mean, it goes far back. Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny, which is '06. It goes as far back as my one of my favorites, Avatar: The Last Airbender. That just rewatched it, and now I'm watching the live action currently. So that
Nice.
one's one of my favorites. So to even know you were a part of that is awesome. How old were you when you really got started? Because you seem like a young dude. You
Um,
gotta be. You look close to my age.
Not as young as I look, not as young as I look, not as old as I feel.
Okay.
I started when I was 15. I was 15. I moved out to LA with my mom and did it the old-fashioned way. You go out there, you start auditioning for pilots, and you get out in the mix, and um, that was my route. And so I started when I was 15. I'm 37 right now,
Okay. All
so
right.
I've
I'm
been going at
33,
it for a
so
long time.
not too different.
So there's like a lot of chapters in that. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
small roles on big things, and then big roles on small things, and then co-stars, and then kid shows, and then so I like to refer to myself as a working horse actor, man. I just kind of keep going uphill no matter what it is.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. I did like I said, just first glance at you, I'm like, all right, this guy seems like he's my age. And then I'm looking at the work you've done, and I'm like, well, this is stuff that I grew up with. So like where the hell did he start? What is that age? But you got 4 years obviously. So 4 years is a long time in the
One of the
industry.
coolest things about one of the coolest things about being in the industry as long as I have is kind of like what you just said, man. Like I'll like I my most recent like kids thing was like Danger Force, which like wasn't that
Yep.
long ago, and it airs right now, and it's on Nickelodeon. And I'll be out and I'll see like a kid that'll recognize me from that, and then like their older sibling will recognize me from like Good Luck Charlie, and then the mom
Yeah.
recognizes me from Hannah Montana, dad recognizes me from college, and so there's this generational sort of fan base that I've developed over the course of 20 some odd years, and it's awesome, man. It's like one of the coolest things. Like the range of people that have seen something that I've been in is awesome.
Yeah. No, that's sweet. I can't even imagine the feeling of having almost like generations. It's like you're watching it from top down, and they're all like, "Oh, I've seen you in this. I've seen you in this. I've seen you in this." It's like, holy shit, man! Like, I've been at it a long
It's a
time.
good reminder it's a good reminder when things get shitty. Yeah.
Hmm. The big thing I wanted to know is, do you prefer voice acting or the physical stuff, or is it just kind of different, a different world
Completely
entirely
different
for
worlds,
both?
man.
Yeah.
Completely different world. Yeah. I mean, voice acting, I always tell people it's good work if you can get it. I mean, it's one of the greatest gigs. It's so fun. It's, when I was doing a show called Randy Cunningham Ninth Grade Ninja on Disney XD, with Ben Schwartz and a bunch of just voiceover legends. And not to say I didn't love and appreciate it, but to work on a show for 2 seasons, and animation is amazing. It's super fun. It's oddly to me more pressure to do animation than on camera.
Hmm.
Because on camera I can depend on my body and I can depend on my face and I can, with voiceover you really have it's a sound, and I sound like this, so sometimes it's hard to get as much out of this as you'd hope. So I love voiceover. I want to do more voiceover. I love it, but my experience is been mainly on camera, and to say which I prefer, dude, it's great to have them both. I'll take them all.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. It's a good answer. I just never. I've always been kind of fascinated with the animated stuff. I've always enjoyed cartoons at all levels. I enjoyed adult animation. I enjoyed the kid stuff. Still watch SpongeBob with my kids, and I'm like, I'm not dragging my feet on it by any means. I'll happily watch it with you. So it's always fascinating to me when I do get to talk to somebody who's done voice work or still is actively doing voice work, to kind of like, that's got to be difficult to, as you said, you have to put yourself physically in this show just through voice. It's like you gotta kind of put
Yeah,
yourself in that
yeah,
moment,
it's
and
it's
you
it's
can't
easier
be
said than
in
done.
that moment. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's and there's nothing to go of either usually, like you just have a script and a microphone and you kind of have to imagine what the world looks like, and so it's very difficult work, but it's awesome, and it's as cool as people think it is, and I'd love to do a lot more. So if anybody's
yeah,
got
man.
a cartoon floating around up, you know,
It's even on like a, so we'll just go a joking scale. So I still play video games. I'll be in a Discord with the buddies, whatever, after the kids go to bed, and you might do a voice that night that was very funny, and then you try to replicate that voice the next night to make those guys laugh, and it just doesn't hit. That voice isn't the same as it was yesterday. So to be able to
it's
do that
difficult.
is very, very difficult. I don't know if people really appreciate that to that level the way they probably should, because that's
Well,
so hard to do.
For Spider-Noir, I found the voice for Dirk, some phrasing and some movements. So I kind of like I've said before, like I wasn't method by any stretch. Like I think method acting is lame. But I
Yep.
definitely like kept my movement in my voice because like I didn't want to lose it. Like you're right. Like if
Yeah.
you kind of break an accent and then you got to pick it back up, it's tough. So I was sort of speaking like Dirk all day, every day on set. But it was less about the vocal, more about the physicality. Like I would find Dirk with the line that would trigger him for me was the I thought this now was over. Like that was the
Yeah.
line where whenever I needed to find it, I would do that line and then it would come to me and then I could keep him going.
Yeah. That I didn't really think about that, because that's a very unique, very almost like, he's very Broadway. You know what I mean? He's very over the top.
Dirk
Very,
Layden,
so
dude.
to do
Dirk
that,
Layden
yeah,
was a that was a voiceover job. Like, say what you
yeah,
want. Like, that was all performance.
100%.
I mean, that was theater, voiceover. I mean, that was a combination of everything. Bit of musical. Like that was
Yeah,
all aspects at one time.
yeah, no, 1,000%. And I didn't even really consider that until you just mentioned it. Like, having to not method act, but you lose that voice, and it's like, shit, it's game over. So having to do
Yeah,
that
and
with
this is the
somebody
big
like
set
him,
with a lot of money on it.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Go
a
ahead.
1,000%. No, that's fine. Just say, with how theatrical he really was, I didn't really put together the fact that that is essentially voice work. That's 1,000% just as voice work as it is physical being there.
Yeah. Yeah, and to hold that and keep that in every tone,
Yeah.
and that was, but it wasn't an issue. It was very easy to be Dirk Layton. I can promise you that. It was
Yeah.
as fun to play as it was to watch.
Well, it was really fun to watch, so I can't imagine. It was awesome, man. I see you have the ALC Studio behind you there. You just
Yeah,
launched. I don't know if it's a relaunch. I don't know if you've done it before. You did. You're kind of doing podcasting yourself right now, right?
yeah. So I'm just doing this thing. So I opened up this studio here in New York where uh, now I teach, but I teach like it's not like I teach acting, but I teach like film industry. And there's a little film industry out here that we're trying to build, and we're creating platforms and sort of working together to create things for actors and opportunities. And so the studio is kind of like my art studio. And so I do a podcast where I interview friends of mine that I've worked with or people that I've come across through my years. Like this Saturday, I have Jason Earls from Hannah Montana coming on.
Oh, nice.
I've had Paul Hauser. So I just get like people I know and I've worked with to just talk about their stories of the industry. And it's less of a show about like acting and, Hollywood, and more of a show about like people relentlessly pursuing a desire, like, and that desire just so happens to be the entertainment industry.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Paul
Mm.
Hauser rules. Lamorne rules. So that's really cool to be able to not only work with them but also, you know, just sit down and have those conversations with them. They're two very
Yeah.
hardworking.
And they've been super cool. I mean, like when I had Papula and Jack Houston on, and we
Yeah,
got to talk about I mean, the conversation, it's a lot like this, man. They're just super cool. And I have people from my studio come sit and watch live, and it's a good time, man. I hope people check it out. I'm not going to stop doing it, but it'd be nice if people check it out.
yeah. No, I haven't. I personally have not yet. I'm going to 1,000%. This is not me being like, yeah, I'll do that, and then don't. I do a lot of just in the car listening mostly, and then in the sauna. So those are my times to really get after it and listen to things. So I really don't
It's
listen
your
to
own
too
song.
much. So yeah, it's not. Don't make it sound like that. It's like a little pop up, zip up thing at home.
You do it on the rag. Rags the riches is more like it.
Yes,
Goodness.
I've
There's a
got like
sauna.
I got myself a little home gym going. No big deal. It's it's literally like a pop up thing
Wow.
with a space heater about this big.
Shoot
It
up
gets
the
smell.
rag and there's a gold bar. Good for you.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I actually I used to stream on TikTok, just like video games and whatnot. And Florida State University corner defensive player was actually in there, and I was just talking about the home gym, and he did exactly what you just did. That reaction, he's like, "You got a home gym?" He's like, "Man, you got TikTok money." I'm like, "No, dude, don't make it sound like that. This thing was built very
Yeah.
slowly."
Or like ching ching, good ching.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, good for you, man. Some guys got it all, and you're one of them.
I'm trying. I'm trying to have it all.
Yeah.
So
Bless you.
you said you were originally from Michigan, and now you're in Western
Mm.
New York, getting this thing going. You said this happened. It was more of a just getting the family back to their roots with your wife, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of things, man. Like, so I grew up in Michigan until I was 15, and I moved to Los Angeles. Met my wife. We had our son, and he was about 4 months old. And it was right after the strike. It was right after COVID. It was kind of,
Mm.
it's just this like really dark time in LA anyway. And I'd been auditioning a lot online and like or through like self tapes and stuff. And so I hadn't been going into the room. And so we had our son, and my wife has this giant family here, and there's more of a community feel. And I thought, why don't I just back up to the family there? I can do what I'm doing from there. I can do more, because then I ended up opening the studio, which was like, low key my calling.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I just wanted to create a different kind of lifestyle, man. Like LA was kind of in a rough spot, and I just wanted my kid to grow up around family and go to regular school and like not have friends that are actors. And it's like every kid I knew in LA that grew up in LA was like a little fucked up.
Yeah, 100%.
Just a little bit.
100%.
Like there's some of my best friends are born and raised in LA. LA to me is still home. I still love that city, and like Some of my best friends born and raised, and I'm just going to be the first. They're a little fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, when you say, when you're talking about Buffalo, you're talking about community, you're talking about big family. Buffalo's also, even let's just go sports. You got one of the most passionate. It's a city of hardworking, passionate people. Uh, it's got the passion everywhere. So when you're talking about opening a studio there, you're talking about bringing people in and you're teaching, and anybody that walks through those doors are going to be hardworking, passionate people. That's what you're going to get. It's not the run of the mill, and I'm not saying that's what everybody in LA is, but it's not the run of the mill. Like I came here because I want to do this. I came here be it's you. I'm here. This is home, and I want to grow here. And I've always had this passion to do this, and now we have a studio here where I can do this. So that's really cool, man. You're in, like I said, one of the most passionate cities in New York, so that's got to be awesome.
Yeah, you're 100% right. The best part about the studio, and we refer to it as an art studio because we're making art. And the best part about it for me is that you get 40 people in a room, and they're all in here because they want
Yeah,
for the right reasons. They want to make the art, regardless of where it takes them. And in LA, it becomes a business, it becomes a job, whether you want to or not. And so it's nice to work with people that are doing it just out of the sheer love and passion for it.
yeah, 1,000%. And it's really cool because for you personally, like you said, I mean, even just the way technology is, you don't have to be in person to land the roles that you may want or that fit you. You
Yeah.
can submit something right here. You've got a nice setup there, so why not go somewhere like Buffalo with those passionate people, and then you could still do what you need to do to earn your living, act, voice, whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
So you really kind of still get the best of both worlds without having to physically do that LA grind, which is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I was just talking to one of the guys in my studio last night. It's a young kid, just graduated college, and he's like, "Dude, I have this opportunity to work this like job at this finance company." He's like, "And I could become a millionaire in a couple of years. Like, this could be a great thing, but like, I'm worried it's going to get in the way of my acting." I'm like, "What time do you get off work?" He's like, 4. I'm like, yeah, you're fine. Like, you have the luxury now of like doing that job and still pursuing this without having to like move out and wait tables in LA. Like,
Yeah,
there's
man.
avenues being created, like, go become a 25-year-old millionaire and an actor. Like, sweet. And he's like, but doesn't that take away from the art? I'm like, no, dude, trust me. Like, a rich actor is a happy actor. Like, a poor actor is not
Yeah,
any better than a rich one.
yep.
Like, dude, trust me. I've been both a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, that's another thing. So, like, with you being there, do you just have like regular business hours, or do you have like those nighttime class? Or I don't exactly know. I guess let's talk about it. So, do you
It's
have
kind
like
of
those
cool.
nighttime
Like, so, like
sessions?
today, like, so right now, like behind me, like, so this is like our stage area, but like behind me is like our office. And like, so like one of our producers, Mira's like back there is working right now. I can't turn my shit or else you'd see her,
Yeah.
but I guess you can kind of, hold on, let's see if I regret this. Hold on. So I'll turn you around.
All
So
right.
like, this is the back part of the studio.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
That's Mira. And then Anna, our other producer, is on vacation with her stupid family. So whatever. But yeah, like the people that sit here and then they kind of come up here, and then over here, my wife and I are shooting this thing, a post-apocalyptic.
Oh, sweet.
So we got
Hell
that
yeah.
right now. But yeah, so we just so what we do is we have our like sessions, like our classes, and it's weird to even call them classes, but classes, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then Wednesdays, days like today are like production days. It's the days where like the production team gets together, like my wife and I, my wife Jen, Mira, and we all get together and deal with like the business.
Okay.
Whether that be
That
like
makes
producing a
sense.
film, writing a short film, because in our studio, all of the scenes that our actors do are original scenes. So like we don't
Mm,
like everything we act is written by us to be produced for either short form or long form in some way.
okay.
So
That
that's what
makes
I mean
sense.
when I
That's
say
cool.
it's like a platform. Like we're shooting it in a way like with high quality, like we're shooting these things so that it has just as much a chance as any good piece of art of getting seen by the right people and helping catapult a career for you.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's why when I was
Yeah,
trying
thanks,
to
man.
ask the question, I was like, I don't want to call it a class, but I guess in a sense, it is a class. It's a studio. You have
And
people in there.
it
They are.
was a
You know what I
class,
mean?
and I guess when you first walk in the door, it's a class, but it quickly just
Yeah.
becomes like a collaboration thing.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's sweet. I didn't really. That's awesome. You guys do all kind of original things there. That way, because I guess when I think of, again, this is, you're not the typical run of the mill LA like acting school. You think of what you
Yeah,
see on TV. You know what I mean? Where it's, you got two people on
yeah,
stage and they're holding a fucking paper, and it's like, you read your lines from, recite these lines from this
yeah,
movie that, and you know what I mean? So
yeah. It's
that's what
like
comes to
everybody's
mind.
doing Goodwill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Give me the training day. It's like, okay.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's kind of in training days, the example I use. Like I was talking to a group of students the other day, and I was like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people do the monologue from training day.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
no matter how good they are, it still has Denzel on it. Like real
Correct.
acting for film, like which is what I do. Like, look, I'm not a theater guy. I'm not like a trained actor. Like I've made films and television shows, and like that's how I've learned. And so like acting for film is very different than like your, grad school acting or acting classes where you
Yeah.
learn Meisner. Like it's different things. So I don't teach that. There are teachers that do, but I don't really teach that. I teach this way because I know how to do that for film.
Sweet. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. And do you, when you're talking about writing, when you're talking about putting these things together, is it the people, your room of 40 people, for example, is it that, or is it you, your wife, and your team writing these things solely, or do they have these kids kind of
Usually,
writing?
yeah, usually it's our team. And like the age range
Okay.
in our, my wife has kids in the kids class. And
Okay.
my classes are 16 to like 82, 83. I have like an 83-year-old. I have a blind
Oh,
guy that
wow.
we work with who's awesome. Like I got some crazy, you wouldn't believe some of the cool like artists I have in here. It's awesome. But yeah, so usually it's the team. The team writes it. The members of the studio write a lot as well, and some people write more than others. That's a part of it. Like you can write as well. And we talk about writing and we help them learn how to structure projects and things like that.
Yep.
So yeah, but mainly it's the stuff that we write because my name's on the building, so I want to see the stuff
Yeah,
I write.
exactly. Right. Why wouldn't it be, Hell yeah, dude. That's sweet. I'll take a trip up to Buffalo. Not too far. It's a
I was
four
gonna
hour
say,
drive,
brother,
you know?
anytime, dude. Like if you anytime, man. Like honestly, I know it sounds crazy, but I bet it'd be worth it because the class it's like a rock concert, dude. It's super fun, and everybody's like really cool, and we could maybe do like a little another pod or something. Maybe I'll interview you.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
We'll
The fact that
have fun with it.
you're gonna say it, dude, get over here. Come on, let's go. We're
I'm not
neighbors.
scared. So I'll do it. I'll bring the fam. I've actually got a 1 year old. He just turned one, and I got a 6 year old. So, and a 6 year old
Uh,
likes trains. So it wouldn't be nothing to take a train to Buffalo from the capital region. It wouldn't be
yeah,
anything at all.
dude. I got a
I can plan a
3-year-old.
whole,
I got a
I'll plan a day
three-year-old who
around it.
is yeah. My 3-year-old is also likes trains quite a bit, and
Yeah.
he's on a tear. Three is a rough one.
Yeah, dude. Everybody talked about terrible twos. I would have done two over and over and over after three, man. Three was like, three was brutal, and I got another one coming.
Because at three,
Not on the
you're
way, but
mean.
another 3 year old. Yeah.
Yeah, three. He's all of a sudden he's just so mean.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
You have two, right? You said
You
you
and I
had a
got a
younger one.
similar kicking rate.
You've got two kids. You said, I believe you have a younger
I
one
just
and
have the
then a
one.
3 year old. Oh, just the one. Sorry. Okay.
Nope, I just have the three
Oh,
year old. Yep.
yep. You said that's when. Okay. Yep. 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 I misunderstood. Yeah, man. Three was brutal. I wouldn't. I would say I wouldn't do it again, but I literally have a 1 year old, so I'm not too far away from doing it again.
Yeah, you're not too.
Hopefully
You're
this
not
one's
too.
not as mean. I don't know what it is
Yeah.
about it, man. I don't know if they just are developing more, so they are more understanding of what they want. But man, he was fucking, like you said, a mean 3 year old.
Yeah. Yeah. He's pretty nasty.
Oh man, it's awesome. So the other thing, I don't know if how often you're like googling yourself. Probably not as much as you should, but you it was really cool to see other people share the opinion that I had because I was like, am I just a freak? Because Dirk is very over the top, very fun, very exciting, and I'm a fucking weirdo. So I didn't know if you just spoke to me individually. It was like, and this is ALC speaking to me, man. Just a couple weird dudes getting it on, but it was
Yeah.
very cool to see how many people actually appreciated the work you did on that, and I really hope it opened the door for a lot more opportunities of that because it was so fucking fun to watch. I really can't emphasize that
Dude,
enough. I love fun. I like horror movies and I like fun, and a lot of like horror I feel like comes from comedy because it's laughter and like fear is
yeah.
like the same fucking thing sometimes. So anytime something is fun, no matter how serious it is, I have like a deeper level of appreciation for that.
Cool. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate that, and I'll say, man, like, it's the industry is a difficult thing, and like, just because something is good or people respond to it doesn't mean that it sticks.
Yes.
Like things happen in a flash. And what I'll say, dude, is when Spider Noir came out, I was terrified because I knew how big it was,
Yeah.
and I have been criticized a lot throughout my career for taking those things, and like not.
Yep.
And so I guess what I'm trying to say is for the most part of my career, the online feedback about me has been pretty negative.
Yeah.
And there, yes, there's a fan base, but I'm talking about like people who like give a, you know what I mean, like that core
Yeah.
nerd group.
100%.
Like
Yep.
they've usually been like, "Dude, I hate this guy, he sucks." And so, and most of the time, I'm like, I get it, yeah, like Major Resurrections. I was
Matrix. Yep.
intentionally
That's
trying to
it.
play
Yeah.
you hated. Like I wanted you to be annoyed and think I was like the worst guy. But
Yep.
but what did come from Spider Noir was not like a lot of industry stuff. Not really. I mean, no, there hasn't really been anything.
Mhm.
But the response online and the way that people have like spoken to me about how it's like how they've enjoyed it and the positive response for somebody who's been doing this for 25 years to never experience that really, especially in a
Yeah.
huge way, the outpouring of like validation, I hate to say it, was so awesome. And like didn't know how much I needed that at this point in my life after years of being told I'm an idiot and like people hate me on the internet.
Yep.
And and I'm not like ashamed to admit it either because like it's not like that's what I was looking for. I was
Yeah, of
fully
course.
expecting it to be like that electro and they hated me thing. But I was so grateful for the amount of people that were like, bro, that was awesome because I really, really like put it all into it. B, I did it because I thought it was going to be awesome. And to have so many people like yourself and other people, to me is I wouldn't say as rewarding, but very rewarding the outcome of Spider Noir that I think I would take over. Well, maybe not over another job, but it has been really, really awesome to finally do something that people really enjoyed and were comfortable enough to tell me that they enjoyed it.
Hell yeah, man. It's very similar to like stand up comedy in that sense. So you think about your favorite stand up comedian. I don't know if you even care for stand up, but think about your favorite stand up
Oh, love
comedian.
stand up.
And yeah, and then so we'll just use a recent guy. We'll just say like Theo Vaughn, right? Everybody's like, man, he's blowing up. He's blowing up. What they don't ever mention is like 15 years ago, he's an open micer and he's getting told he sucks at open mic and whatever it is. And not to say him specifically, but you're the top tier guy,
No, dude,
and
you're actually nailing it. I saw.
to finally have that level to be a comedian, you're like, holy fuck, do these people love me? It's like I remember when I was doing 5 minutes off a notepad, and it was like, what the fuck am I doing with my
Right.
life out of the backseat of my
Yeah.
fucking Honda?
Totally right, dude. I saw Theo Vaughn performing at a comedy club in Naples, Florida, like 20 years ago, and it was like 8 people in the audience, So,
It's
yeah.
insane.
And look, it's not to say they won't hate me again in the future, but
Oh,
just
absolutely.
to have like but just and it's not even so much about liking me. I think it's appreciating the work and like
Yeah,
because like I view what I do as art. I don't mean that to be facetious or pompous, but like I do. I try to look at it as art for real for me. And so when my art is appreciated like it was and recognized, like that feels really good.
yeah, man, absolutely. Why wouldn't it? It's like very similar. Everything I always try to relate things to myself. So obviously, I'm very small scale, very DIY. I'm gonna end this with you, and then I'll be sitting in this room for a little bit editing it so I could get it up tomorrow because they're supposed to come out on
And straight to
Thursdays.
the
And
sauna.
yeah, and then right to the sauna to sweat it out. And but it's
I go
very
home and get yelled at by
when when like I get the message from it'll be two people, but they'll be like, "Hey man, that episode was really cool. Oh man, that's really cool. You got this guy." I try to get like niche. Tom Devlin, who's he was on most recently, who's just like a special effects guy. Not everybody really cares about special effects or B-rated horror movies. I do. So when somebody
Yeah,
does and they're like, "Oh, that
really
was cool that you
interesting.
got to talk to him," it's like, "Hell yeah, it was cool. I got to talk to him." And then there's
Yeah,
times where it's like, I know the last episode I put out sucked, but that was cool to hear that person said that this one didn't. So I
right, right.
I recently started. I used to do solo episodes when I couldn't get a guest, which is pretty often. I'm not a big name. I put out these cold call pretty much DMs like I did to you and hope one sticks.
Mhm.
So I used to do solo episodes outside of that, and then I was like, this show kind of slowed down when I stopped doing that. But it was very boring to me to just sit there and talk to a camera by myself. I'm not a touring comedian. I'm not doing anything that's really worth talking about for that long. So
Sure, yeah.
it's very tough to kind of balance that too, because you're like, am I not putting out enough by not doing that though? And then nobody really cares about when the next episode comes out because 3 weeks are going by and nothing came out. You know what I mean?
It's weird, man. We live in this world now, and I know what you mean because you're a content creator. You know what I mean? Like that's a
Yeah.
different world than the entertainment industry. And so there's like value in quantity, there's value in quality. And I think really like it's up to the artist, man. Like I guess like I just said, I view what I do as art. And like, yeah, I know it's acting
Same.
and it's like
That was
lines and whatever. Like,
yeah, same. That
but
was
I think
exactly where I was
there
getting
are
at.
people that view it as an instrument to progress. And
Mhm.
like you can use it as an instrument to progress and put out shit that you know sucks anyway, but just to keep yourself in the algorithm and because the goal is to just hit that algorithm and go. But if the goal is to make sure that you're like an artist, then I guess take your time, dude. Like, sorry, you're not at the height of the algorithm, but like if you put
Yeah.
up something tight, it's gonna get there. Like, I'd rather put out something, I'd rather the algorithm work against me and me have to make it off of the art than just flood the market, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what I was getting at is like when you said I do view what I do as art, it's like, yeah, actually, so do I in that sense where I was just kind of putting out content. It's like maybe this is what I need to do and every week put something out. And then it's like, wait a minute, I'm not really content with that personally because this shitty solo episode where I'm just kind of rambling and going isn't the same as when I get to talk to somebody like an Andrew or I get to talk to somebody like Tom Devlin who I find interesting or whatever it might be. And I mean, I've talked to people
That's
who
what
are
happens
just
when
hobbyists,
when
like
entertainment
just a
becomes
toy
business,
collector.
when entertainment becomes yeah, sorry, like that's what happens. Like that's what happened to me in LA. Sorry, I keep forgetting that it's a podcast because we're vibing, so I keep like talking right over you,
No,
and I'm
dude,
like,
that's
sorry
fine.
about it, man.
I'm totally cool with
Yeah,
that. That's what chewing
but
the
we,
rag is.
but when entertainment becomes business, art's the first thing people usually set aside. Like artistic integrity is usually the first thing you put aside when you decide to go towards business. So like you have to be an entertainment business. It is the entertainment business. That is a part of it. But like keeping the art the driving force is the hardest part because it's so easy to let it slip. It's
Mhm.
usually the first thing to go. But I think if you define your choices based on the quality of your art, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, man. No, that's good advice. That's pretty
Thanks.
much it kind of sums up what I'm talking about. It's like hey, that is actually what it is. It makes complete sense. It's why chewing the rag even came to be because I started off with a buddy of mine during the pandemic. We did dangerously average dudes. It was just me and him, and we were just. And then it came to a point where we did it at my house. So I'm my wife. I had just one son at the time, but my wife and my son would walk and go to my in-laws' house or whatever, and I would set this block of time, like, hey man, you need to come here, and this is when we're doing it. And then I would get a text the day of, 10 minutes before, like, oh my car's this, oh I ran out of gas, oh this, and it's
Yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah.
so now we're getting to a point where now you're not only interfering with like the business side of things, like we're trying to make this thing happen, but my personal life because my wife is making accommodations so that we can use the house. I'm now in like a nice room, whatever, but I was in our
Yeah.
living room recording. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough to
It's
make.
tough, man. And
You gotta make.
I feel for your buddy who couldn't make it happen. Like it's
Yeah, of course.
the real and it takes that's why I have my podcast, The Pursuit of Desire. Like there not everybody's pursuit of desire is based in art. Like, and so when it is, it makes you a different type of human. And those are the people that I find to be the most interesting. Like people who are in the pursuit of art tend to be people that I find interesting because of shit like that. Like their car breaks down, well then they walk or they
Yeah.
run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they get a ride. Like other people are like, ah shit, my car broke down. Sorry, buddy. Like that's just the difference.
Yeah.
That's not your friend's fault.
No,
That's
of
not
course not.
like, and that's also the universe too. Like it's but that is what defines, I believe, an artist. It's just that endless pursuit.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think it was blessing in disguise because that's what Chewin the Rag kind of came from that, and it wasn't just now it's me and this guy and we're rambling and telling jokes and this, that, and the third. It's now I have to. Do you really want it? Are you going to grind? Are you going to go do what you need to do and go from there? So I kind of look at it like sweet. It kind of showed me that I can still do this, and I didn't need a co-host, and I can make something happen. So you learn a lot when those things happen.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He actually you know what? I will say this.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you and your fucking car.
I will say this. He went to a trade school, he picked up welding, and he's doing really well for himself. So I'll take the trade off. I got the podcast and he's fucking sitting there with a fucking welding mask on.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Good for you. Well, yeah, dude, this has been great, man. I'm super glad that you asked, dude, and I would for sure come back on and chop it up with you and stuff. This has been cool. Yeah, I think this this has been this. You know, these are the types of things you like to do. Just have two people sort of chopping it up about.
Yeah.
You know, their saunas and shit. It's cool.
No, it's sweet. I really do enjoy it, and I do appreciate you coming on. Chewin the Rag, like you said, you're talking over each other. You're talking like that's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a real conversation. I don't really like to do the whole interview thing. Of course, I want to talk about your art and your work and your studio and everything else, but I really want to like talk to the people behind that too. I want to learn like what drives you. I want to learn about your fucking family. I like the boring shit too. I just like to like, how did you end up to this point? You know what I mean? So that's really when you said I keep forgetting this is a podcast and not just a conversation. Like fuck no, man, this is a conversation. That's what I like. That's what I want. So I love that shit. So I appreciate you treating it as a conversation and not a damn interview. Because if you would have treated it like an interview, I wouldn't have. That's not the Andrew I want.
It's the one you're getting. It's the only one there is.
Hell yeah, man. And I'm not joking. I will be up to Buffalo. And I will hit you up and we will do something.
Let's go.
Before we go, man, is there anything that you want to plug? Anything that you have in the works for your personal stuff? I know, like you said, the work doesn't necessarily.
Chewin the Rag podcast. But make sure to check out the Chewin the Rag podcast.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Yeah, man. I want everybody to follow my studio on Instagram because that's sort of the hub where all of our shit comes from. All the stuff we create. It's the ALC Acting Studio. You can find it through my Instagram, which is Andrew Lewis Caldwell. But yeah, follow the studio, man. We're always putting out stuff. We got a TikTok. We're putting out content of a show we made about old people in high school. So yeah, check it out.
Hell yeah, man. And I'll have all those, everything will be linked right in the description on this. Everything will be linked. Be sure to definitely check that stuff out and follow Andrew. I'm really excited to see what you put out next. And I really, 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 really do appreciate you coming on, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.